Hey guys, today we're going to talk about something you might be feeling right now, and maybe even ignoring. Picture this. You wake up, swing your legs over the side of the bed, and the moment your feet touch the floor, there it is. That stab of pain in your heel, that stiffness in your toes, that strange ache that follows you to the kitchen. You try to walk it off, maybe rub it out with your hands, hoping it'll go away. But it doesn't. It never really does. And the truth is, it's not just normal for your age. It's not just wear and tear or something to be brushed aside. Your feet are trying to tell you something. And if you stop and listen, you might catch a problem before it gets worse. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits, arthritis. You trudge through the day, the bones in your feet grinding in protest, each step like a quiet argument between your past and present. If you've lived long enough, chances are you've walked tens of thousands of miles. And just like a favorite pair of shoes, joints wear down. But what arthritis does isn't just wear. It inflames, it stiffens. It changes how you walk, how you stand, how you live. In osteoarthritis, the cartilage between your bones starts thinning. No cushion, no shock absorption, just bone against bone. You might notice that the first few steps in the morning are the worst. You hobble to the bathroom, holding onto furniture, trying not to show how bad it really is. By mid-morning, it gets a bit better. But then, by the afternoon, after you've been on your feet a while, that dull ache creeps back in. Rheumatoid arthritis is a little different. It's not just wear, it's your immune system attacking your joints. Your feet may look swollen. Your toes might curl in odd directions. And you might feel a constant, nagging stiffness, even on days you barely walked. That's the thing about this disease. It doesn't care how much you rest. Now you may be thinking, sure, I'm old. What can I do? But you'd be surprised. You start by recognizing the symptoms. Not every foot pain is arthritis, but if you're stiff in the morning, if your joints feel hot or swollen, or if your toes are starting to look deformed, it's time to take it seriously. Don't just buy a new pair of slippers and hope for the best. Talk to your doctor, get an x-ray. Sometimes blood tests help if they suspect rheumatoid arthritis. Early diagnosis means better treatment. You don't want to wait until it hurts too much to walk to take action. Medications help. Anti-inflammatories, steroid injections. These can take the edge off. But here's something you might not expect. Movement helps too. Gentle movement. Water aerobics, slow walks on soft ground, stretching exercises for your feet and ankles. These don't just feel good, they preserve what you've got left. You can also look at your shoes, not just the size, but the support. Orthotic inserts that cradle your arch. Shoes with thick, shock-absorbing soles. You're not buying fashion anymore. You're buying freedom, one step at a time. Think of your foot as a miracle of design. Each one has 26 bones, 33 joints, and more than 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. When arthritis sneaks in, even the smallest joint can make the biggest difference. That pinky toe you never think about? If it's swollen, it can throw off your whole gait. And if your gait is off, your knees, hips, and back start to ache too. It's all connected. Maybe you used to walk 5 miles a day, and now you struggle just to get through the grocery store. Maybe you've stopped going on walks with your partner, or skipped that family trip because you couldn't face the walking tour. That's not just arthritis stealing your steps, it's stealing your life. But here's the hope. It doesn't have to. You can adapt. You can take steps, literal and figurative, to protect your mobility. You can get ahead of the pain before it locks you down. But it starts with awareness, with saying, this isn't just age. This is a condition I can manage. And managing it doesn't mean pushing through the pain like you used to. It means being smart, using heat pads before you get moving in the morning, doing gentle toe curls and ankle rotations while sitting in your chair, taking rest breaks without guilt, letting go of the idea that slowing down means giving up. Some days you'll feel better than others. Some mornings the stiffness will fade quicker. Some afternoons you might even forget the ache for a while. But on the days it's worse, remember, you are not broken. You are adjusting. You are learning how to move differently, not less. And don't keep it all inside. Talk to someone. a friend who understands, a spouse who sees you wincing but doesn't know how to help. Let them in. Tell them what it feels like, how your joints throb, how the floor feels like gravel, how you pretend it's not that bad when really it is. Let them carry a bit of the burden with you. There's a quiet strength in facing arthritis head-on, a grace in asking for support, in a future in every step you protect today. So if your feet hurt and you've been telling yourself it's just from walking too much yesterday, pause. Ask yourself if it's been weeks or months. Has your balance changed? Do you notice a limp now and then? Is that left foot starting to look different than it used to? Don't wait until walking is something you only remember fondly. The sooner you listen to your body, the longer you keep your independence. And speaking of things happening deep inside the body, you might not feel stiffness at all. Instead, what if the problem lies in your nerves? You're standing at the kitchen counter, trying to slice a piece of toast, and suddenly there it is. That strange buzzing in your toes again. Like they've fallen asleep, except they didn't. Maybe you try to wiggle them back to life. Maybe it's not the first time this has happened, and it doesn't go away. You start to wonder, is this just poor circulation? Is this just part of getting older? Let me tell you something gently but clearly. Numbness, burning, or tingling in your feet isn't just old age. It could be your nerves misfiring, and in many cases, it's a condition called peripheral neuropathy. A word you don't need to memorize, but one you should understand. Your nerves are messengers. They send signals between your brain and the rest of your body. When they're healthy, they tell you, hey, you're walking on grass, or that floor is cold. But when they're damaged, they might say, the floor's on fire, even when it's not. Or worse, they say nothing at all. No signal, no feeling. That's when you lose balance. That's when you step on something sharp and don't even know until you see blood. And for many older adults, the biggest culprit behind this nerve damage? Diabetes. Even if you don't have diabetes now, your blood sugar might have been creeping up over the years. And long-term high blood sugar slowly poisons the nerves in your feet. That's why so many people with diabetes struggle with foot pain, or worse, foot injuries that never heal. You may have already noticed little signs. Socks that feel like sandpaper. Feet that are cold to the touch but somehow burn from the inside. Shooting pains that feel electric. And sometimes it's not pain at all, it's absence. You press your fingers against your toes and they feel nothing. Don't shrug it off. This isn't just about comfort. It's about safety. Because if you can't feel your feet, you can't protect them. A small blister becomes an ulcer. A stubbed toe becomes infected. And for some, that means surgeries. For others, amputations. But here's the good news. You can take action right now. First, check your feet daily. Yes, every day. Sit down, take your socks off, and really look. Check between your toes. Look at your heels. Notice any redness, cuts, swelling, or signs of infection. Even a small scratch needs your attention. Second, keep those feet clean and dry. Use mild soap and lukewarm water, not hot since you may not feel heat properly anymore. Dry them gently but thoroughly, especially between the toes. Third, moisturize, but not between the toes. That area needs to stay dry to avoid fungal infections. And always trim your nails straight across, never curved. If your vision or hands make that hard, see a foot care specialist. It's worth it. Now let's talk about shoes. If your nerves are compromised, the wrong shoe can do real damage. You need shoes that fit well, with a wide toe box and soft lining. No seams inside that can rub, no tight spots, no heels, and absolutely no barefoot walking. Yes, even at home. Protect those feet at all times because the ground doesn't care what you're feeling or not feeling. If you haven't already, get your blood sugar tested. Even a simple finger prick test at the pharmacy can reveal a lot. And if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, managing your glucose isn't just about avoiding insulin. It's about saving your feet. But neuropathy doesn't just come from diabetes. It can also come from alcohol overuse, certain medications, B12 deficiency, and even spinal problems. If you've had chemotherapy, for instance, or been on long-term medication for high blood pressure or cholesterol, your nerves might be paying the price. Don't be afraid to ask your doctor about it. Say, I feel pins and needles in my feet. Is it neuropathy? Let them test your reflexes. Let them use that little tuning fork. Let them run blood tests. Don't wait for the feeling to disappear completely. That's when it's too late. Some treatments help. Certain medications can ease the pain and sensations. Vitamins, especially B complex, may help if a deficiency is the cause. And physical therapy or balance training can help keep you steady even if the nerves are damaged. And maybe most importantly, stay active. Movement improves blood flow, and blood flow feeds your nerves. Even something as simple as ankle rotations, walking laps around the house, or gentle foot flexes in your chair make a difference. You might be thinking, but my feet hurt, I can't exercise. I hear you. But what I'm saying is this: movement doesn't have to be a chore. It can be a kindness. It can be slow, mindful, even meditative. You can stretch while seated. You can raise your heels while brushing your teeth. You can trace the alphabet in the air with your big toe while watching TV. These little habits, done daily, nourish your nerves. Let's also not forget the mental toll of this kind of foot pain, the constant discomfort, the unpredictability of sensation, the fear of falling. It's enough to make you want to stay seated all day. But then the muscles weaken and the problem compounds. It becomes a spiral. And I'm here to help you interrupt it. You are not helpless. You're not too late. Your body is still listening to your care, your choices, your actions. Even now, even today. So if you feel like your feet are buzzing, burning, or gone numb, pause. Don't wave it away. Don't just wait for your next annual checkup. Your nerves might be sounding the alarm, and the sooner you answer, the better you'll walk into the days ahead. But there's another more obvious source of foot pain, one that doesn't come from inside your body, but from something you put on every day. You sit down at the edge of the bed, reach down to tie your shoes and think, these still have a few good miles in them. They're comfortable, sort of, broken in, familiar, like an old friend. But here's the truth. That comfortable pair of shoes you've had for years might be the very thing causing your foot pain. Because sometimes the enemy isn't hidden deep in your joints or nerves. Sometimes it's laced up right around your feet. Let's get honest. Most of us don't pay attention to our shoes the way we should. We pick what's easy to slip on, what's on sale, or what's been sitting at the bottom of the closet since 2012. But your feet change as you age. The arch drops, the padding thins, the shape spreads, and what fit you at 50 doesn't serve you at 70. If your shoes don't match the shape and needs of your feet today, you're walking into pain every single step. Maybe you've noticed a new callus forming near your big toe. Maybe your heel feels bruised after a day out. Maybe your knees or lower back have started aching, and you can't quite trace the cause. The wrong shoes don't just hurt your feet, they throw your entire body out of alignment. Let's talk about arch support. You used to have more natural cushion in your soles, fat pads that acted like shock absorbers. But now, they're thinner and your feet are more vulnerable. If your arch collapses without support, your plantar fascia gets stretched, leading to plantar fasciitis, one of the most common and painful conditions for older adults. It starts as heel pain, a sharp, stabbing pain when you get out of bed. It eases a bit once you start moving, then comes roaring back after sitting too long. If you've got this, your shoes may be worsening it, or even causing it. And then there's the toe box, the front of the shoe. Many shoes are too narrow for older feet. Over time, your toes may spread or develop bunions. Tight toe boxes squash them together, rubbing raw spots, aggravating joints, and worsening deformities. Do you wear slip-ons, flip-flops, shoes with no back? Those don't stabilize your foot. They force your toes to grip with every step just to keep the shoe from flying off. That constant micro-effort can cause long-term strain and contribute to conditions like hammer toes, neuromas, or arch fatigue. And we haven't even gotten to balance. The wrong shoes can literally trip you up. Thin soles with no grip, that's a fall waiting to happen. Thick, cushy soles with no flexibility, you're wobbling without knowing it. Heavy shoes that make lifting your feet harder, that's a stumble just around the corner. So what should you wear? Supportive, structured, cushioned, but not spongy. You want a firm heel counter to cradle your back foot. You want an arch that gently lifts your midfoot. You want room for your toes to spread, but not so much that your foot slides inside. You want shoes made for walking, not for fashion, not for nostalgia. And no, this doesn't mean you have to spend hundreds of dollars. There are many affordable brands that specialize in shoes for seniors. What matters most is the fit, and that they're replaced when worn out. Let's talk about that for a second. Shoes wear down long before they look worn out. The tread might still grip, but the midsole, the part that cushions your foot, gets compressed over time. It doesn't bounce back. It doesn't absorb shock. It's just flat. And when that happens, your joints start taking the hit instead. A good rule of thumb? If you wear the same pair of shoes every day, they should be replaced at least once a year. If you rotate between a few pairs, maybe every 18 months. More than that, and you're walking on tired shoes and they're not doing you any favors. Also, stop guessing your shoe size. Feet change, tendons loosen, arches fall. Swelling becomes more common. Get professionally measured once a year and check both feet. One might be larger than the other, and that matters. And remember socks. Yes, even socks can play a part. Look for non-binding tops to avoid cutting off circulation, moisture-wicking material to keep your feet dry, and a good fit so they don't bunch and cause blisters. Now let's go deeper for a moment. Have you ever avoided going out because you didn't want to wear those ugly orthopedic shoes? I get it. No one wants to feel old. But wearing stylish shoes that hurt you doesn't make you younger. It just makes you more vulnerable. Vulnerable to pain, injury, and isolation. Because here's what happens. Foot pain keeps you home. Home becomes your whole world. You say no to the grocery store, you cancel plans with friends, and the less you move, the worse it gets. Foot pain is a trap, and bad shoes set the bait. But the right shoes, they open the door again. They let you walk with confidence, with less pain, with more joy. They let you join that walk around the lake, stand through that wedding, stroll through the market without looking for the next bench. You deserve that freedom. So open that closet. Pull out every pair of shoes you haven't worn in 6 months. Try them on. Walk around the room. Ask yourself, do they still serve me? Do they support me? Do they make me want to move? If not, thank them for their service and let them go. You're not giving up. You're stepping forward. Because protecting your feet isn't just about comfort. It's about keeping you independent, safe, and active. It's about saying, I'm still moving, and I'm doing it smart. And if your feet are swelling at the end of the day, more than just tight shoes might be at play. You kick off your shoes after dinner and glance down. Your feet look puffy again, like little balloons with skin stretched too tight. You press a finger into your ankle, and the indentation stays there, a soft dent refusing to bounce back. That's just water weight, you might say, or I've been on my feet too long today. And sure, sometimes that's all it is. But if your feet and ankles swell regularly, especially if it's happening more often or without much effort, it could be a sign that something deeper is going on, and ignoring it could be dangerous. Swelling, also called edema, is your body's way of flagging a traffic jam inside your system. Fluid that should be circulating smoothly begins to collect in the tissues, especially around the feet, ankles, and legs. And for seniors, this isn't just uncomfortable, it's a signal flare. One of the biggest causes of swelling in the lower legs is congestive heart failure. Now, don't panic when you hear that phrase. It doesn't mean your heart has failed completely. It means your heart isn't pumping blood as efficiently as it should. Blood slows down, fluid leaks out into surrounding tissue. And because gravity pulls everything downward, your feet are first in line to swell. If your heart is struggling, you might also notice shortness of breath, fatigue, or even waking up at night gasping for air. Combine that with swollen feet, you've got more than just a long day on your hands. You've got a condition that needs a doctor's attention fast. But the heart isn't the only organ that signals through your feet. Kidney disease can cause swelling too. Your kidneys are supposed to filter excess fluid and waste out of your body. When they're not doing their job well, whether from age, diabetes, high blood pressure, or medication damage. That extra fluid has nowhere to go. It pools, it presses, it stretches your skin tight, and it settles right in your feet and ankles. Then there's venous insufficiency, a fancy term for when the veins in your legs don't send blood back up to your heart efficiently. Your veins have little valves that are supposed to keep blood moving upward. But with age, those valves weaken. Blood starts to pool in your lower legs. That causes pressure. That pressure forces fluid out of the veins and into the tissue. And there you have it, more swelling. You might also notice that your legs feel heavy. You get cramps at night. Your skin may start to change color, reddish, purplish, or even brownish in the ankles. And in serious cases, you may see ulcers develop around the shins or ankles. These don't heal easily, and they're incredibly painful. Let's not forget lymphedema either. Your lymph system is part of your immune system, and it helps drain waste and fluid. If it's blocked, or if lymph nodes have been removed, such as after cancer treatment, fluid can build up in the soft tissue. This swelling is usually more firm and less squishy than other types. You may see one leg more swollen than the other. It can feel tight, achy, and warm to the touch. So how can you tell the difference between normal swelling and something more serious? Look for patterns. Do both feet swell equally, or is one worse than the other? Does it happen every day or only occasionally? Is it worse at night, after sitting for hours? Does it come with shortness of breath, chest pain, or fatigue? Has your weight suddenly increased a few pounds in just days? These clues help your doctor figure out what's going on. And the sooner you bring it up, the better your chances of managing it before complications set in. What can you do in the meantime? Start with elevation. Sit down and lift your legs above the level of your heart. Use pillows. Rest on a recliner. Do this several times a day for 20 to 30 minutes. You'll be amazed at how much difference it makes. Compression socks are another powerful tool. Not the tight, itchy kind from years ago, but modern, breathable ones that gently support your veins and help push fluid upward. They come in various strengths and styles now, and many are easy to put on with a little practice. Also, move. Even just shifting from sitting to standing every hour helps your circulation. Walk laps around the house. Do heel raises at the counter. Point and flex your feet while you watch TV. The more you move your muscles, the more your veins pump fluid back toward your heart. Watch your salt intake too. Salt holds water in your body. You'd be surprised how much sodium is hidden in processed foods. Canned soup, bread, deli meat. Cutting back helps reduce fluid retention more than most people realize. And of course, talk to your doctor. They may check your heart function, kidney labs, and leg veins with imaging tests. They might adjust medications, especially if you're on certain blood pressure or diabetes drugs that can cause swelling as a side effect. And here's the thing you need to remember. Swelling is not a harmless side effect of aging. It's your body waving a little red flag. It's your feet saying, pay attention to what's going on inside. Left unchecked, swelling can lead to more than discomfort. Skin stretched too tight becomes fragile. It can crack, get infected, and struggle to heal. Your mobility takes a hit. You might start walking differently, trying to avoid pain or pressure. That change in gait strains your knees, hips, and back. It all spirals. But you don't have to spiral with it. You can respond early. You can treat the cause, not just the symptom. You can elevate, compress, hydrate, move, and advocate for yourself with your doctor. Because your feet aren't just a pair of body parts at the bottom of your legs. They're messengers. And when they swell, they're not whispering, they're shouting. So if you see that swelling return again and again, don't brush it off. Don't just change into looser slippers. Ask, why? Because when you pay attention to what your feet are telling you, you might just save your heart, your kidneys, or your life. And now let's talk about something more subtle, something many people dismiss, a simple ache, a stubborn pain, a bad foot day that repeats again and again. Sometimes the most dangerous symptom is the one you've convinced yourself to ignore. It starts small, a dull ache in your heel when you step out of bed, a twinge in your arch halfway through a walk, a soreness in your toes at the end of the day. No big deal, you tell yourself. Just getting older. You grab a heating pad, you pop a pain pill. Maybe you rest your foot on the coffee table and wait for it to pass. But days go by, then weeks, and it's still there. Sometimes sharper, sometimes quieter, but always there. And you begin to do what so many people do in your shoes. You learn to live around the pain. You walk less. You skip that evening stroll. You say no to the community dance or the farmer's market. You stop bending down to pick things up because the pressure on your foot is too much. Slowly, step by step, your world shrinks. And the thing keeping you small is something you've been telling yourself not to worry about. But here's the truth. Foot pain is not normal. It's not something you're supposed to just accept. It's not a harmless inconvenience. And when you ignore it, you're not being strong. You're turning your back on one of the most powerful protectors of your independence. Because foot pain does more than hurt. It changes how you move. And when you change how you move, limping, favoring one side, avoiding steps, you throw your whole body out of balance. That's when knees start aching. That's when hips tighten. That's when falls happen. And for seniors, a fall can be catastrophic. A broken hip doesn't just mean a hospital stay. It means months of recovery. It means muscle loss, dependency, fear. In too many cases, it means losing the ability to live independently. And it all starts with pain you convinced yourself wasn't serious. Now let's dig deeper. What kind of foot pain are we talking about here? A sharp, stabbing pain in your heel first thing in the morning? Likely plantar fasciitis? A burning sensation near the ball of your foot? That could be a Morton's neuroma, a pinched nerve often triggered by poor footwear or pressure. A dull ache that radiates through the middle of your foot after standing? That might be midfoot arthritis, a common but underdiagnosed issue in older adults. Throbbing near the big toe joint with a visible bump on the side? That's a bunion, which can cause joint misalignment and chronic inflammation. Pain in the back of the heel or above the ankle? That could be Achilles tendonitis, especially if you've recently increased activity or started new shoes. Each of these has its own cause, but they all share something in common. They are treatable, and they are worth treating. Let's be clear. You don't have to wait for a diagnosis to start helping yourself. Start by keeping a foot pain journal. Yes, it sounds simple, but it's powerful. Write down when you feel pain, where exactly it is, what it feels like, sharp, burning, aching, and what you were doing before it started. This helps your doctor tremendously and helps you see patterns you might have missed. Next, take stock of your daily habits. Are you standing too long without breaks? Sitting too long without movement? Do you wear the same shoes every day, even if they hurt? Have you gained weight recently, putting extra pressure on your arches and joints? Every pound you carry adds pressure on your feet, especially on those tiny bones and tendons not built to carry a heavy load for hours. And let's talk hydration. You might not think drinking water affects foot pain, but it does. Dehydration makes tendons and muscles less flexible. That can lead to cramping, strain, and inflammation. Stretching also plays a crucial role. You don't need to be a yoga master. Just spend a few minutes a day gently stretching your calves, rotating your ankles, curling and extending your toes. These tiny movements reawaken circulation and relieve hidden tension you've been carrying without even knowing. You can even roll a cold water bottle under your foot or use a tennis ball to massage the arch. These home remedies don't just feel good, they increase blood flow, reduce inflammation, and help heal overused tissue. And yes, see a podiatrist, a real foot doctor, not just when things get unbearable, but as soon as something feels off. Most seniors wait far too long, thinking it's not worth the fuss. But that little ache in your step, that could be fixed with a custom orthotic, a new exercise, or even a short round of medication. You don't need to suffer in silence. You've earned the right to walk freely, to move with grace, to explore your neighborhood, attend your events, dance at your granddaughter's wedding. Your feet are your foundation. If they hurt, your life shrinks. If they heal, your life expands. So I ask you now, what pain are you pushing through that you don't need to? What small, nagging signal have you been silencing in the name of resilience? Because resilience isn't just about pushing forward. It's about recognizing when your body is asking for help and giving it. Don't let pain write your story. Let attention, care, and action write it instead. You've walked through so much in life. You've earned the right to keep walking, not with a limp of sacrifice, but with steps of strength. So let's take a breath together now. A deep, full breath. And with that breath, let go of the idea that foot pain is just part of the deal. It's not. You can do something about it, and you can start today. Now, before we wrap this up, let's wind down together with a little reflection and a message from the heart. Take a moment and close your eyes just for a breath or two. Picture yourself standing tall, steady, grounded. No aches tugging at your steps, no burning, no swelling, just ease, confidence, freedom. That future isn't out of reach. It starts with something simple: listening. Listening to what your body tells you, trusting that those small discomforts matter, and knowing that you are never too old, too late, or too far gone to make a change. If something you heard today rang true, if you found yourself nodding along, thinking, "That's me," I invite you to share it in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear, and when we share, we heal together. Give this video a like if it helped you, and subscribe if you want more heart-to-heart conversations about health, aging, and living fully. We're here for you every step of the way. Remember, your feet have carried you through a lifetime, through joy and heartbreak, through routine and adventure, through childhood and grandchildren. They deserve your care. They deserve your attention. And so do you. Keep walking, keep caring, keep choosing health, and above all, keep believing. You are worth the effort.